everybody, Cinema Sickness here with a video you guys have been asking for about a day after I shot my last one of these videos. And the video I've been promising you guys for a little while now. It is time, once again, to take a tour of the Cinema Sickness library. So let's go in and let's take a look at everything that is new. Well, here we go, guys. The Cinema Sickness library. Insert Willy Wonka's pure imagination here. Here you guys go. This is it. We're going to take a tour of the entire library. Going to show you guys where everything is, how this is all set up, everything new I've added since the last tour video. So let's dive in. Alright, so as usual, we're going to start off taking a look at all the different video formats I have down here. Starting off with UMD video that I have stored on this book cart right here. Got this book cart for free not too long ago. Decided to use it to store all my UMD videos. And yes, UMD videos, not UMD games. These are all movies and TV shows and whatnot. And this book cart holds them all. It is double-sided, as you can see. And I can just wheel it, push it around wherever I need. Back and forth. Love that this thing is on wheels. It is quite convenient. So next we'll take a look at the format I have the most of, and that is DVD. And these are all cataloged pretty much the same exact way the rest of my library is, and that is somewhat alphabetically. And what I mean by that is all my DVDs that start with a number start here and go across, and then down to the next row and go across until they end up right there where you see A, and then all my DVDs starting with A start there and go across and down to the next row and across, and so on and so forth with all my other titles, B, C, D, and etc. And again, they're not quite alphabetized. It's just that all my A's are together, all my B's are together, all my C's are together, and so on. And it makes things so much simpler for putting one title away. If I had these all in a standard alphabetical sort of way, it would take me hours just to put one movie away. If I got, let's say, Arthur here, and I didn't have that cataloged yet, I had to put that in there. I would have to move everything over all the time, and it would take so long. This way, all I have to do is move the first and the last DVD of each section, of each letter section, and it takes me about 5 minutes to put one movie away. Not a big deal. And if I need to find something, it's still pretty easy. If I need to find, let's say, American Gangster, I just have to look around, and oh, there it is right there. Takes me a second to find something. It's not that big of a deal. It's pretty easy. I like it this way. I think it works for the best this way. And again, when you have a collection this large, it is pretty much, in my opinion, the best way to catalog, as you can still find things, and it's very simple to put something away. So this is wall number 1 of DVDs, and yes, this book cart is in the way, but that's why it's on wheels. If I need to get something, to something over here, I simply just wheel it out of the way, and there we go. Something over here, and I just wheel it that way. And there we go. So this is pretty much numbers down to, starts B down there. And then we go on to wall number 2, which goes all the way across here. This is a continuation of B all the way down to the start of E. As you can see, nice big wall. And then from wall number 2, we go on to wall number 3. And this is the rest of E all the way down to H. And then from there, we go on to wall number 4. And we have the continuation of H all the way down to N. And then on to wall number 5. And this wall goes all the way across the entire library, the longest wall in the library. And this is the continuation of N all the way down to, well, I'll show you in a second. As you can see, it goes all the way across. And we are all the way down on the bottom row now. We only have a little bit more of this row to go, this shelving, this wall to go, and then we're completely full. And this ends down here. As you can see, there's Z, but then we also go into Superbit, mini DVDs, and 3D DVDs. And yes, these are actually 3D DVDs you use 3D glasses with. This was like a precursor to 3D Blu-ray. These are pretty cool. And they do use shutter glasses, which I actually have a pair in here and a pair in there. It's pretty interesting. You got to hook them up to your DVD player, to your TV and stuff. It's pretty weird. Like I said, a precursor to 3D Blu-ray. Once 3D Blu-ray came along, this was obviously obsolete, but it's still pretty cool. And technically the format is DVD. It's not a special format. It is just a DVD that uses those special glasses. So that's why they're down here. Superbit, mini Blu-ray, or mini DVD, and 3D DVD are all technically DVD format. So that is that. So that is that wall, and that is all of my DVDs for the most part. We'll get into a few more later on. Then we move on to Blu-ray, and once again, all separated the same way, all alphabetized the same way. And they go along this wall here. The reason these are facing out is simply just to display them nicely. This wall would be completely bare if I didn't have them displayed this way. So the first of my Blu-ray section takes up this entire wall. Soon to be covered with DVDs, as again, I only have that little section across here to fill up with DVDs, and then I'll be moving on to this wall. So they start there, and then they move over onto this bookshelf. And as you can see, at first, they are facing out as well. But then when we get down to about C, they start to face normally. And they take up the whole bottom half of this bookshelf, and then move on to this bookshelf as well. And that is all of my Blu-ray for the most part. So then right here we have yet another book cart, and this holds all my DVD-Rs. As you can see, I got a few of these from like Warner Archives and whatnot. Again, all alphabetized the same way. And I got this little book cart here from Target. It fits DVDs perfectly. And they take up the whole first side. I haven't got any on the other side yet. But once again, on wheels, can be moved around for ease. And that is all of my DVD-Rs. So once we move that cart out of the way, we can then take a look at all of my 3D Blu-rays. And they are on these two shelves right here. This is my entire 3D Blu-ray collection. Again, with the exception of a few things I will show you in a few minutes. I had a pretty decent collection of these. I am a big fan of 3D Blu-ray. I know not everybody is, but I love it. Hope the format never dies. I will certainly enjoy watching 3D Blu-rays on my 3D TV for a good long while. And then on this bookshelf here, which as you can see, mostly just holds some figures and some little collectible pieces, I have one of my smallest format collections, and that is the very beginning of my 4K Blu-rays. As you can see, not a huge collection, only a few titles here, but I just started collecting UHD Blu-rays. I will be getting more of these in the future, but for now, this is my rather small 4K collection. So now let's move on to all my VHS. Again, sort of. These are all my VHS in standard sleeves, the standard cardboard sleeves you would see most VHS, and we will take a look at my clamshell cases in a minute. And they're again all alphabetized the same way, A's are together, B's are together, and so on, and they fill up this entire shelf right here. And then they actually come over behind here, and then go down this shelf here, and then they start over onto here, and go all the way across and down these rows, and then onto this shelf over here. And they almost fill up this whole shelf. I only have a little bit more space down here at the bottom to go. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do to make more space for my VHS. I have a few ideas. So maybe next time you see a video that'll happen. So again, these are all my VHS tapes in standard paper sleeves. But now let's take a look at all my VHS in clamshells. So for VHS in standard sleeves, we then move on to VHS in larger packaging that I have on these shelves right here. This is all sorts of stuff like clamshells and big boxes and things like this weird Scream set down here. Basically VHS packaging that's much larger than the standard sleeve releases, but mostly that being clamshells. This is one of the few things in the collection I do not have alphabetized. I have these just kind of randomly on here as I see fit. Some going by size, some going by collections, like my Shirley Temple collection and some Disney collections. I just have, again, these on the shelves as I see fit. And these shelves aren't deep enough to hold two tapes in front of one another. So what I did was built a little shelf back there to prop the ones in back up. And I can double up, which gives me plenty more space to put lots of larger VHS packaging. These all look great. So they start up there, come all the way down to the last few rows here, which I do not have doubled up yet. These two rows right here are not yet doubled up, but after I fill this row up, they will be. And then from there, I will have to figure out where I want to go as far as where I'm going to put the rest of my larger packaging VHS, but I will figure that out when the time comes. So again, this is all my VHS in clamshells and big boxes and other kinds of large packaging like that. So then on the other side of this shelf, we move on to Beta. And yes, I said Beta, not Betamax. Betamax is a brand name. Beta is the format. This is my entire Beta collection right here. Also not alphabetized. I have these just separated as I see fit, mostly by size, but also some things like my CBS Fox titles are together, and like my Columbia TriStar stuff's together. So I just have these kind of separated, somewhat similar to my larger VHS packaging. And again, these are all doubled up as well, as you can see. And they just go all the way down to the, I believe, the fourth row down here. Yes, and they end up down there. I have 2 lonely titles down there. But they will get filled in eventually. And that, once again, is my entire Beta collection. Then from my Beta shelves, we move across onto these bookshelves, which hold all my film, Laserdisc, and CEDs. So up top, we have all my films starting with 35mm. This is the one and only full 35mm film print I have. This is Scenes from a Mall, which comes on 5 reels. This is awesome. I absolutely love owning at least one movie on 35mm. And these are 35mm film trailers. I have a bunch of those. I could have gotten more over the years, but I kind of stopped collecting them as they're kind of fun, but I only pick up ones that maybe really interest me now. So I got a bunch of those. Then from there, we move on to 16mm. This is all my 16mm titles. And then on to my 8mm film titles. And then from 8mm, we move on to Super 8. And again, that is my entire film collection. The next is my Laserdisc collection. Now these, we go back to being alphabetized the same way. Just A's are together, B's are together, and so on and so forth. These are all my Laserdiscs, which is definitely one of my all-time favorite formats to collect for. Used to come across these a lot about a few years ago, but seems the Laserdiscs are drying up around here. I don't come across them as frequently as I used to. But man, do I love collecting them. Such a fun format. I love all the artwork. And then from there, we move on to my CEDs, my capacitance electronic discs. And I actually have a decent amount of these. Used to come across these a lot as well. Not only come across them every so often. Fun format, interesting format, I would say. As far as formats are concerned, one of the worst formats ever made, but also one of the most interesting formats ever made. So again, all my CDs, Laserdiscs, and all my film. So then from there, we'll move on to a set of shelves I just recently built. And that is the shelves that hold all my HD DVDs. Once again, all alphabetized the same way, starting right there with numbers and going all the way across. And then on to the other side, going across there, and they start facing out, and they end up right there with the Warriors. So again, that's all my HD DVDs. And then from there, at the very end, we have my HD VMDs and my CBHDs. Those are awesome. I still to this day cannot believe I can actually say I have a collection of HD VMDs and CBHDs. Those are extremely rare, extremely hard to get a hold of, and I have some, and I am just thrilled about that. I'd say out of everything I have in my collection, this little bit right here is probably what I'm most proud of. Next, we'll move on to another new addition to the library, and that is this new, or at least new to me, CD tower that I just recently picked up from a Goodwill for dirt cheap. This thing is beautiful. It is glass, wood, and metal, and I love it. And as you can see, it holds my entire DivX collection. DivX is a fun format to collect for, in my opinion, and it is completely a pointless format to collect for, as all but one of these discs are completely unplayable these days, since you need a dial-up service to play any of these, and that dial-up service no longer exists. So I love this CD tower. I like that I can put my DivX counter display right on top of it, and then all my DivX titles down below. So again, all of these, except for my demo DivX disc, is completely unwatchable, because again, you need a dial-up service that no longer exists. But with that being said, I still find it fun to collect for these, and I love having a nice tower full of them. So from DivX, we'll now move on to the titles behind my TVs here. And on these shelves, we have a bunch of weird odds and ends and all kinds of just random fun formats. Just a bunch of just weird stuff that I absolutely love. Including PVD, personal video discs for the video now. We have my black and white PVDs. Moving into my color PVDs. And then from there, we got something really weird. These are my Flex Play titles. We have Noel and Semi-Pro. Another kind of weird failed rental formats. Those are also unwatchable, but really fun to collect for. Then we have CD-ROMs. Got a few of those. Then into my N-Power Fusion titles. These are simply just SD cards, like preloaded SD cards. Nickelodeon did some of those, and also Disney did some of those with their Max Clips. Basically the same exact format, just a different title. Then into my VCDs, my video CDs. I have a decent amount of them. And then from there into my Video 8 cassettes. These are also really fun, just kind of sort of like mini VHS. I absolutely love those. Really fun to collect for. Tried to be a little popular, sort of failed. Unless you count the in-flight market, they did pretty well on in those, but otherwise kind of failed as a home video format. Then into my Juiceware media clips, I have them in these like DS display cases here, and they're just these little carts for the Juiceware media player. Got a bunch of those, and then from there we move into my Action Viewer cassettes, my Fisher-Price movie viewer cassettes, and my these are just called movie cassettes. These are all very similar. A lot of different companies pretty much put out the same exact format, but they are a little bit different. Although the Fisher-Price and the Action Viewer, you can actually switch between players. These movie cassettes here, these actually do not work in those. You have to have a different player for those, but those are fun. And then into CDI, and this is the actual CDI format as opposed to these CDI releases, which are just video CDs. There is a difference. CDI movies like this were released both on video CDs, so I can watch these in anything that'll play a video CD, as opposed to these that will only play on a CDI player, as this is the CDI format. So I got a bunch of those. And then into, let's see, what are these? I don't even know what, oh, these are mini movie viewer cassettes. This is basically just, actually, I think this is a whole different, I'm not even sure what millimeter this is. I don't think it's 8mm. I don't think it's Super 8. I think it's something different. Kind of a weird little player. Again, it's a mini movie viewer player. Very strange. I have 2 of those. And then into my one and only cart revision player. And unfortunately, it is boxing. I'm not really into boxing, but it's really cool to at least have one of these. This is actually the very first ever home video format. It's kind of like a giant VHS tape, sort of. This thing's pretty awesome. It's a really cool analog format. I'll probably never have a player for these. They're very expensive, very rare, and pretty much the only time I ever come across them, they're in pieces and not working, as they're just super old. But really cool to at least have one Cartervision cart. Hopefully I'll get more of these somewhere down the line. And then over onto these VHS towers, we have my DVHS. These are actually 1080i VHS tapes. Yes, full HD VHS tapes. These are pretty awesome, really fun format. I don't have a ton of these, unfortunately. Hope to get a lot more in the future. And then into my Video 2000 releases, also known as VCC. These are fun. These look like giant cassette tapes. These are really cool. Kind of a sort of format to compete with VHS. These are just really fun. I do not have a player for these either, unfortunately. Not really anything over here in the States, but over in Europe, these were, again, a competing format with VHS. And then onto my movie CDs, and these I have a decent amount of. These are really fun to collect for. These can only be played on a Windows 95 computer. I hear they also kind of work on Windows 98, but not as well. So these are interesting. I do have a Windows 95 computer I have specifically built just to play these. Again, a really fun format. Precursor to DVDs. Once DVDs came out, these were completely obsolete. And the video quality is pretty crappy, but still fun to collect for. And then the last of my video format collection I have to show you are these shelves over here, which hold all just my oversized packaging. It's everything that's just huge. As you can see, got some big packaging over here. Planet of the Apes and Dexter and Spider-Man 2. Onto these shelves over here, Disney Treasures. There's all kinds of stuff down there. So this is just all packaging that's way oversized and would never fit on my regular shelves. All kinds of just fun, big stuff. Collectible packages like the Spartacus there. All kinds of fun things. I mean, here's the Avengers briefcase. All kinds of just interesting stuff like that. And all kinds of formats too. Everything from VHS. I got some beta on here. DVD, Blu-ray, Blu-ray 3D. All kinds of neat stuff. Also onto these shelves here. So again, just all oversized packaging. This is where all my big stuff goes. All the collectible releases, collectible packaging, and all kinds of just fun stuff like that. Definitely interesting shelves to look through, and just stuff that will not normally fit on the rest of my shelves. Actually, there is one last video format to show you guys, and I have it displayed kind of fun. And that is my Game Boy Advance video collection. I have a complete collection of these. These are not Game Boy Advance games. These are Game Boy Advance video cards. This here's a whole bunch of movies and TV shows that you'd play on your Game Boy Advance. And I do have the entire collection. That is why I have it framed. I think it looks pretty nice there. So again, my Game Boy Advance video collection. But the one and only game system I collect for over here is the Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. These are all my Game Boy games. I then have my Game Boy Color games and my Game Boy Advance games. And this is all just miscellaneous stuff. Like there's a Game Boy Pocket in there, and I keep my SP in there and all kinds of accessories and whatnot. So I do collect for the Game Boy. I'm not a huge gamer, but I do enjoy gaming on the go. And again, this is the only game system I collect for. It's just the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and standard Game Boy. And then the last format I'm going to show you guys is one other format that I collect for, and that is CD. I used to just collect CD soundtracks, but now I collect all kinds of CDs, all kinds of music, and I have these displayed up in my rafter shelves. Yes, I have shelves built into the rafters of the library because you need to take every last inch of space you can get to display stuff. So they start over there and just go across, all the way across the library, and then onto the next row, and then onto the next row, and then they end up right there, and they are alphabetized the same way. A's are together, B's are together, and so on and so forth. So that is one of the only other non-movie formats I collect for, and that is CD. So before we move on to something else, I quickly do want to show you that on these shelves right here of all my large boxes and whatnot, I do have one other format, and that is right here. This is my one and only VHD. Only one of these I have. I have Howard the Duck. I would love to get some more of these. I would love to eventually get a player for them. But this is the only one I have. So just wanted to show you guys this format really quickly to let you guys know I do have one of these. Alright, so now onto my TVs and players and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So first off, let's take a look at my TVs. I have a standard definition right here, and then I got my 3D HD TV right here. I do feel you have to have both because I certainly do not want to watch a VHS or Laserdisc or something like that on an HD TV. You gotta watch them on a standard definition TV to get the best picture, or at least in my opinion. I only watch DVDs and HD formats on my HD TV. So that's why I have both of them. But as you can see right now, I do have my Disney Blu-ray promotional demo disc playing. I love this thing. And I got it playing on this TV and this HD TV over here. And the HD TV back there as well. I can have something playing on all 3D TVs at the same time, including standard definition. I can either have something playing on this TV and the other TVs, or the standard definition TV and the other TVs as well. So I can have VHS and whatnot playing on all these TVs just as much as I can have Blu-ray playing on all those TVs as well. That way, pretty much no matter where I am in the library, I can always see a TV. I do have them all on mute right now, but normally the sound would be going, and it sounds pretty good. I do not have a surround sound down here yet. That is something I definitely want to get. It will happen eventually, in time. It's coming. It is coming. A lot of people ask me that. It will happen eventually, I assure you. So then we'll move on to some rewinders here, because if you collect analog, you gotta have rewinders. I got a VHS rewinder, I have a Beta rewinder, and I have a Video 8 rewinder, all made by Kinyo, which is really interesting. I think it's fun that I have a rewinder made by the same company for all three of those formats. Now on to all my different players down here under the TVs. We have my 3D Blu-ray player. This here being a Video 8 camcorder, which actually has audio-video outputs, and as I've said many times before, Video 8 VCRs are extremely expensive, very rare, hard to come by. These are everywhere. You can find these pretty much any flea market, pawn shop. These are all over the place. This will run you like $5. These are not very expensive, and they work just like a VCR as long as they have audio-video outputs. This does, so this is what I use to watch my Video 8 tapes on. I take this, hook it up to the TV, and it works just like a VCR. Then I have a dedicated video CD player. A lot of these players over here will play video CDs, but this is a dedicated player. Then I got my Laserdisc player. This is a dual-sided player, which means that the laser reads one side. You do not have to open it up and flip the disc. The laser actually flips over and reads the other side. This is a Super Blue player, which is a Blu-ray HD DVD combo player. It's also region-free. I can watch any region Blu-ray on there and any region DVD on there. Then we got my CDI player, which I do not use for games. I have no CDI games. I simply play my CDI movies on there. Then into my Beta player, and then my CED player. This here being a DVD, that's a Nuon enhanced DVD player. So all four Nuon DVDs that were ever released, I do own, and I can use them on there. It's kind of ridiculous. It's basically just for special features, and the special features are horrible. It makes no sense. It only lasted 4 titles, and then they never did anything else with it, which makes sense, but still fun to own one of those. And this here being a DivX enhanced DVD player, which means that this is what I would have used to watch my DivX titles on if the dial-up service still existed, and I was able to actually watch any of those DivX discs with the exception of the demo disc that I can watch on this. So that's fun to own. This is my Windows 95 computer. That's my father-in-law built for me that I use to watch my CD movies on. And then I do have a GameCube down here, which I cannot watch my Game Boy Advance videos on. Game Boy Advance videos do not work on the Game Boy or the GameCube with the Game Boy Advance adapter. I do have the Game Boy Advance adapter, so unfortunately I cannot watch my Game Boy Advance videos on here, but I do use this to play my Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games on. Then I have a VCR DVD combo. Then into my D VHS players. This is my 1080i VHS there. Then a region-free DVD player. My HD VMD player. Still, I have 2 of these. I can't believe I can say I have 2 of these, and both of them are a box. I have a box for this one. I have another one box. That's just an amazing thing to be able to say. My CB HD player, which once again is another amazing thing to say. I can't believe I have a CB HD player. These right here, very rare, not released in the United States, and an HD DVD player. So that's all my players underneath my TV there. I do also have Apple TV and a Roku and my internet and the coolest clock ever, which has a USB output and 2 plugs. I love this clock. It is like the coolest clock ever. And then I got a bunch of portable media devices as well, and I keep those under the table here in this container. This thing holds all kinds of fun stuff. This holds all different, like, wires and whatnot that I need to use and all kinds of stuff like that. But it also holds all my different players. I have a Video Now player, this here being a Video Now XP player, and a standard Video Now player, a portable mini DVD player. This plays mini DVDs. I think it's awesome. Some of my movie viewer players. This is what those weird cassettes were for, like the Fisher-Price movie viewer and the action movie viewer and all kinds of stuff like that. This is the mini movie viewer. This is the thing you put those little tiny cartridges into. You look through there and you watch little clips. My PSP 3000, which again not for games but for UMD videos. This here being my Disney Max player and my N-Power Fusion player from Nickelodeon. My Juicebox media player in there. So all kinds of fun stuff like that. Another Game Boy Advance SP, which I used to just for my Game Boy Advance videos. And again, just all kinds of cables and wires and whatnot that I need to either use on these or to use with all my portable devices. And then the last of my players would be my film projectors. And I got 4 of those. We have a 16mm film projector. This here being a Super 8 film projector, a dual 8 film projector, which plays both 8mm and Super 8, and then just a standard 8mm film projector. So I have 4 of those to watch anything I need to watch my film on, except for a 35mm film projector. I do not have one of those, and that's because those are very big, expensive. Wouldn't even have room for one of those down here. You need like a ventilation system. Those are absolutely insane. I'd love to have one someday, but who knows. But as far as standard projectors are concerned, I have one for 16, Super 8, and 8. And then what I watch my film on would be my pull-down projector screen. So you just yank down on that and watch all your film that is projected up onto the screen. But if needed, behind my couch here, I also store a portable projector screen as well. Simply just set this up, and wherever you need to have it set up, you can have it set up. I have one of those just in case I don't want to watch my film down here. Maybe I want to take it upstairs or watch in another room or somewhere else that the projector screen mounted to my ceiling obviously wouldn't work for. So then the one last collection I have down here to show you guys above the door would be my Disney trading pin collection. I do collect for these as well, though not too crazy with these. I do tend to only buy pins that kind of represent trips that I've taken. So I'll get one for every year I've been down there, or if I've been to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, I'll get one for that, or maybe the hotel I stayed in or anything like that. I will get ones that represent that. As far as fun ones like the Winnie the Pooh and the Donald Han Solo and the Yeti there, those are mostly ones I get through pin trading. I will buy really cheap pins that I find at flea markets, yard sales, pawn shops, stuff like that. If I find a pin for $1, I'll pick it up. Or I find like pins on Listia for really cheap that nobody wants. I will get them for very, very cheap, and then you can take those and you can trade them to cast members in the parks and get pins you like. So sometimes I just get fun pins that I enjoy, but I don't actually pay full price for them. I pay maybe like $1 for them thanks to trading. So I do collect these. I only started collecting these a few years ago. Plan to certainly get more. I do get some every single trip I go down, and I'll be going down in December, and I'm sure I'll come back with plenty more pins then. So I guess next we'll take a look at all the fun display pieces I have down here. First up, again, being my DivX counter display. Got that off of eBay. Love that thing. Also came with a pin, and it also came with the DivX demo disc. These Batman Forever display pieces. These were for a movie theater. That got them from an old rental store that the lady who ran the place, one of her relatives used to own a movie theater and had all these cool display pieces. You're going to see many pieces down here that came from that lady. On the projector screen right here, I got my old press badges and just some fun convention badges as well. All kinds of fun stuff there. These are fun signs I picked up from Hobby Lobby. We have Refrain from Talking, Remove All Noisy Children. So just some fun theater signs. Got that one there. Some Yoda. That actually came from a viewer. And if you have a candy wrapper, open it before the movie starts. Then underneath here on these new shelves, I have my Captain America shield. This is actually a backpack. Came from a viewer. That's awesome. Just decided to hang it up because I thought it looked so cool. We have my original 150 Pokemon poster, and this here being a really cool Ninja Turtle poster that I used to have when I was a kid. I was pretty excited when I came across this. I had to pick that up and hang it up because it's just awesome and very nostalgic for me. So again, have them hanging up underneath my shelves there, so when I lay on my couch, I can look up and see that awesomeness. Then we got stuff like my Jurassic World little weird hanging thing right here. I got this from a Walmart, so they were going to throw it out. They said I could have it. My one and only full-size poster, which is my Spice World poster because it's one of the greatest movies of all time. And I got some fun stuff on here, like my original Freddy's Dead 3D glasses. These are actually 3D glasses from when the movie came out. Those are awesome. Also got them from the lady who ran the rental store. Same thing with my Beverly Hillbillies. Like decal sticker. This Batman and Robin I actually got from this weird store that sells all this like old surplus stuff. It's just like a suction cup decal. Again, that's pretty awesome. Oh no, stuff's falling down. Gotta be careful. This is my MST3K. A viewer sent me that. Another cool window decal. My Lion King. I don't even know what this is. Just a cool framed Lion King special edition picture. This I actually got from a yard sale. That was pretty awesome. Had to grab that. My previewed movies to buy. That came from an old Blockbuster that closed. I got a Lightning McQueen doormat here. So you walk in, you can wipe your feet off. And also Lightning McQueen light switch cover as well. These right here, these like 3D holographic like cards These came from a viewer. They sent me these. These were just, they give these out if you're part of like the Disney movie club. So these are pretty cool. I just framed them. I thought they were really neat looking. They like, some of them completely changed. There you go. Classic holiday stories into Muppets Christmas Carol. So some of these are pretty neat. They changed from two different things. Again, these just came from a viewer. I thought they were pretty cool. So I hung them up. Let's see, then we can go into this. This is a Casper display piece, also coming from that lady who ran the rental store. George of the Jungle display. This was sent to me by a viewer. This is awesome. This is an old McDonald display. I'm guessing from when they had like toys. It was just cool. That had to go up. I love me some Disney. Then we got some Chevy Chase Funny Farm, also coming from the lady who ran the rental store. Beverly Hillbillies, again, lady who ran the rental store. And I got my Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse is just awesome. This Game Boy new, and also I think the other side says used. Yeah, Game Boy used sign. This is actually two signs I just stuck together. These came from a gaming convention I was at. Got these for dirt cheap, but I thought it looked good just above my Game Boy games here. We have Home Alone 3, also from the rental store. Same thing with Just Another You, and same thing with Free Willy 2, The Adventure Home. Again, these are all things that were supposed to be originally used in a movie theater. So these are really cool pieces right here. Then we got my DVD video sign. This came from a closing Borders. Back when Borders went out of business, everything must go, including all of their fixtures, and even including this sign right here that hung up very high on the wall, which they gave me a ladder and a very sharp knife and said, just have at it. I got it for like 10 bucks. This is one of my pride and joys. I love this thing. It'll always be hanging up somewhere down here because as you see, it's thick, it's awesome, it's legitimate, it's really cool. My Blockbuster Rewards sign that I got from a closing Blockbuster. My weird random Warner Brothers luggage tag. I don't know. It's very strange. I don't even know why that's a thing, but it's awesome. So I just stuck it there. Again, this is my Game Boy Advance video collection. Then we go into my... these are both my Hollywood Video and my Blockbuster Video rental cards. I used to have more of these. I unfortunately got rid of them. I really regret doing that. Wish I still had those. Then we go into my Light Up C and my Light Up S. Obviously had to get those. Cinema Sickness, had to pick those up. Got those from, I don't know, some hobby store, like a Hobby Lobby or something. I forget where I got those, but they were cheap. They were cool. I thought they looked good down here. Got some posters back here. We got Horrible Bosses and Enchanted, National Treasure, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Under here, we got, these are really cool cards. These are like horror movie and sci-fi movie cards. These were also sent to me by a viewer. I wasn't sure what to do with these, so I just kind of hung them up underneath here for the heck of it. I think they look pretty cool, and glad I figured out something to do with those. Those are really awesome cards. I really do enjoy those. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so some posters over here. Cool as Ice, and also The Wizard. These were full-size posters. Unfortunately, I did have to cut them to fit these frames. It is what it is, though, but I think it looked pretty good. This here is a coat rack, obviously, that I can hang my hat from and my jacket from and, you know, keys and whatever. Or if I have guests down here, they can hang their jacket and hat up as well. Definitely awesome. I use this every single day. Normally, if I wasn't filming down here, my hat and jacket and everything would be hanging off there. Also have one on the other side as well. I had this one that I can also use. Right now, my bag for my laptop is on it. But behind that, we have Angels in the Outfield. And this is really cool. This is a Blu-ray like demo sign that would be hanging up, not in store, but I believe like in like the back stock room or something like that for employees to look at. That's pretty cool. On the coat racks, they actually have little like frames. So I just took some old pictures I had, like some old artwork I had of Superman 2 and Beetlejuice and some Planet of the Apes, or I guess Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And on this side was Pulp Fiction and Devil's Rejects and A Clockwork Orange. Let's see, and some more posters over here. We have The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, which is actually signed by Paul Bennell, which is the writer and director of that movie. We have Mad Max Fury Road and Star Wars and The Dark Knight Rises down there. These are cool. My little bookends. I got Taz on that side, and on the other side is Bugs. We have my H2 poster signed by Tyler Main, my Fright Night Part 2, and then my Metropolis poster down here. This thing's awesome. Got this for $5 at a Walmart. I love the Metropolis poster. It's very long and awesome, and it just fits perfectly right there. These also came from a closing Blockbuster. We have my Blu-ray sign, my other Blu-ray sign, and my horror sign, which is, I always find amusing because really Red Dragon, Misery, that's the 2 titles you pick for horror. I mean, great movies, but not the scariest movies in the world. Though Misery is kind of scary, I suppose. These I just picked up. These are Jetsons the Movie Cups. These are collectible cups that were sold at these are sold at Wendy's, and I picked these up. These are just awesome. They were just display pieces that they would be hanging up in the shop. Got these for a total of $2. Not $2 each, $2 total for all 4. So that was a really cool find. Very happy to have grabbed those. See if there's any other things I want to show you. I guess I'll show you these down here. My adult only signs. Maybe wondering what that's all about. Just kind of paying homage to old rental stores when you would walk in and see the adult only section. What's back here is a there's like a water spigot back there, water meter back here, and the main shut off to the house water. So if there's ever a flood in the house, I gotta have access to that so I can shut all the water off in the house. And it's just stuff I needed to get to, so I kind of built the shelves around them. And decided to do this adults-only theme just to kind of, again, pay homage to old rental stores and the adult-only sections in them. So let's see, anything else I want to show you guys as far as displays are concerned. I guess that is pretty much it, although we do have these, just some fun figures right here. These won't be staying here forever, but this shelf was just looking empty, and figured I would just display this stuff on there. Again, this is the shelf I display my 4K Blu-rays on, my my UHD Blu-rays, and again, I didn't want the shelves just being empty, so I just displayed those on there. And I guess that's really about it as far as like displays and fun stuff go. Again, just my, I guess I pointed this out already, probably, I don't know, my Elena of Avalor little display piece I got from a Disney store. And this is my Santa Claus Conquers the Martian DVD here. I already had the movie on DVD. Somebody sent this to me years ago, and when I opened up the case, the artwork for the actual case was just horrible. But when I opened it up, it had the coolest DVD I've ever seen. I could just love how that DVD looks. And since I already had the movie on DVD, decided to just hang it up and display because it's just so cool looking. Okay, here's something. We have my West Coast Video VHS head cleaner, which I have in a case that's a Critics' Choice video case. So kind of odd, but that's just a fun little thing I decided to hang up. Poster down here as well. That's the campaign. And one over here also, which is Jupiter Ascending. And again, I think that is about it as far as posters and all kinds of fun little displays and stuff I have are concerned. Well, actually, there is one last little bit of decor I almost forgot to show you, and that's on the sides of the book card here. I have a poster for Spotlight, and then some magnets down here. These are just some Scream Factory magnets, and then I have my Disney annual pass holder magnet. I am not an annual pass holder yet. Someday I will be, but that was sent to me by a viewer. And then slide this over, and on the other side, we have a Bad Boys 2 poster, and then some more magnets. You got a Walt Disney World magnet, some more Scream Factory magnets there. It's the Scream Factory Movie Buff the Game magnet, and my Blobfest magnet, which is awesome. Go to Blobfest every single year. And that, I'm pretty sure, is the last of the decor. Well, alright guys, that is just about it. I do have a coffee table down here as well with these really cool Darth Vader handles I got. In here are all my different remotes for all my different players and stuff. Even the controller for my GameCube, again, which I only use to play my Game Boy games on. This is just kind of weird stuff in here as well, like coasters and my 3D glasses and something to wipe DVDs off with and stuff like that. My couch. That's what I watch all my movies on. You guys may remember my last video down here. I had this this Frozen the movie like bucket that had a hole in it. I put all my change in there. It was big. It was clunky. It got in the way. So I just bought this little popcorn thing I got from Target, and I just put my spare change in there now. Also good because when this gets full, I can actually take this to the bank, as opposed to when the Frozen one got full because it was so huge. I had to empty it out slowly. So this is much better in my opinion. I got my Cinema Sickness hat up there, which you can get if you go to cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com if you want to get yourself one of those. I also have a kick stool over here because people are always asking me, how do I get to my CDs? Well, that's easy. I just take my kick stool, stand up on it, and I can reach anything I need. So that is why I have this. This is definitely one of the greatest things, in my opinion, that I have down here in the library, and something that I feel everybody should have in the library. And again, guys, that is about it. We do have my lighting up here in the rafters. Obviously, it's pretty dark up there without them on. I'll show you. Turn them off. There we go. It does kind of get dark up in there. You really can't see too well. It's hard to see all the titles. You turn the lights on, you can see so much better up in there. And everything you want to look at is pretty well lit. I have all that controlled with this right here. As you can see, it says marquee, overhang, and rafters. I can turn the rafters off like that. Back on. Also, the overhang over there and that light right there is all controlled with this. Turn off and back on. And the marquee, this is pretty cool. I don't have it set right now. This marquee up here, there you go. See, all it says question marks right now, but I can have it say whatever I want, like welcome to the Cinema Sickness Library, or happy, Merry Christmas, or Happy Thanksgiving, or Happy Halloween, or whatever I want to say. I can have that set. So absolutely love it, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to set, so I only set it on special occasions. And you just turn it off. So that just hangs right there next to my light switch, so that's pretty convenient. And again, guys, I think that is about it. Oh, that's falling down. I don't really have much more to show you than that, and that won't stay up. I don't know why. But I guess that is really about it. All the shelves down here on the walls, I did hand build these myself. This was all custom built by me, by hand. Painted the floors and everything myself. Had the whole basement waterproofed. As you can see, kind of the little bit of a lip right there. You can see where the new concrete was laid. Whole thing is waterproof, so that is a plus. Do not have to worry about any leakage down here. Not that we ever got any bad leaks down here before. Maybe we get like a little puddle every now and then. Not like this place has ever flood. Just a tiny puddle here and there. But that is no longer an issue thanks to the waterproofing. If we ever did get a lot of water down here, which again we never have, it would all just go into this tank right here and then get pumped out. But that has never happened because we've never got that much water down here. And knock on wood, I don't think we'll ever get that much water down here ever, because I've never seen that happen down here. So again, all these built by hand. Everything else like this and stuff was obviously bought and purchased. All the rafter shelves, I built those as well. Just cut the wood, screwed it where it needed to go. So again, guys, I do think that is about it. I can't really think of anything else to show you guys, but I hope you enjoyed this library tour. Just wanted to show you all the different formats I have, how they're spread around the library. Just wanted to show you all the cool display pieces and all the different types of players I have and whatnot. I will say, some people ask me this, how are they all hooked up? They're not all hooked up. I have my my DVD player, or I'm sorry, my Blu-ray player hooked up at all times, and I also have my Roku hooked up at all times, and for whatever reason, I have my my Apple TV hooked up at all times too, although I really don't ever use my Apple TV. But I do have them hooked up at all times because I use those pretty much, well, except for my Apple TV, I use my Roku and my Blu-ray player all the time. Everything else, I just get out as needed. If I want to watch a VHS, I get out my VCR and plug it up. It's just so much easier that way. I don't have to worry about all kinds of wires and having everything plugged in, and the craziness of just having it all going at the same time. This way, I can just use what I need as I need it. I find it much simpler that way. This is my 8, right there is my 8-port HDMI splitter. That's how I'm playing something on this TV here, and the other TV over there, and the other TV over there, all at the same time. And I have an old school Rabbit, which is back right down in there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's called a Rabbit, and it's an old school way of splitting a VCR. Much easier ways to do it nowadays, but I prefer to use the old school method, and that's how I can play stuff on all 3 of the other TVs, on the standard definition. I have these lights here. This is what I record. When you guys see me like that when I record videos. I just set up my camera here, sit there, I turn the lights on for extra added light. As you see, there are 2 different types of light. This is a much brighter light, which I use really to shine on me. I usually flip this like that, and it puts enough light on me so you guys can see me. This one here just adds a little extra light, and what I also love is the fact that I can turn all these lights off. And if I really want, I can just have kind of like a bit of mood lighting down here. I love watching movies just with this light on. It's very warm and friendly and inviting, as opposed to having, you know, the harshness of the neon lights on, which isn't always so fun and, you know, a little hard on the eyes at times. All right, guys. So again, that is about it. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below. I will answer any of them to the best of my abilities. I just absolutely love having my own library. You know, my own theater, my own library, my own little man cave, if you want to call it that. It's a great place to just store everything and come relax, get away from life, you know, get away from the family, get away from life, just kind of hang out down here by myself at night, maybe watch a movie. My wife and I watch movies down here as well. Still some stuff I want to do. Like I said, I do want to get surround sound. I would like to put some air conditioning down here at some point. It never gets warm, like super warm down here, but maybe like 80 degrees tops down here, and 80 degrees isn't the most comfortable in the world. So eventually I would definitely like to get some sort of AC down here at some point to just to make things a little nicer. So again, guys, that is really about it. So again, leave any questions you have down below. Again, I will answer them to the best of my knowledge, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.